Hi, I'm John from off-road.cc, and today I'm in a woodland in the middle of Germany and I'm riding the brand spanking new Mondraker F-Podium. Now Mondraker is probably best known in the racing world for their downhill team, and this is actually the first time that they've done a full suspension cross-country race bike. There's the Thunder. So this has got 100mm of travel either end, as you'd expect from any sort of cross-country race bike, 29-inch tyres, that's the same thing. Obviously, Mondraker being Mondraker, they've taken a slightly different stance on this. Obviously, they still want to make a super lightweight bike, and they've done pretty well at that. Apparently, claimed weight for a medium without shock is about 1950 grams, I believe. Obviously, we haven't measured that because I'm not taking it apart. So that's like reasonably competitive for a bike like that. But what Mondraker didn't want to do is kind of compromise what they do with their bike. So to that end, they could have gone lighter if they'd gone for a single pivot, but what they've actually done is stuck with their zero multi-link suspension system. And they say the benefits of that are that it's just got better sort of downhill performance. And even though like cross-country riders often just ride locked out most of the time and only lock it for one rocky bit, they reckon it's still enough of a benefit, and also that their system is efficient enough that it's going to convince their team riders, and they do have a UCI World Cup cross-country team that's been testing this bike for quite a while, to leave it unlocked for as long as they can. Now, I've only been on a pretty quick lap around here in the woods around Stuttgart, and it's been pretty standard, fairly tame cross-country fare. So like quite a lot of smooth, far track, the odd little gnarly bit, and yeah, it's interesting. It's enough to give like a bit of a flavour of the bike, and I'd say the flavour of the bike is slightly different than your common old garden 100mm race bike. It definitely feels a lot plusher, a lot more active. Obviously it's fitted with, all of the bikes in the range are fitted with dual lockouts, so you can lock it out and then it's like as you'd expect. But it's definitely got a massive edge on most other 100mm full sus cross-country bikes that I've ridden in terms of the traction, and also because it uses Mondraker's forward geometry. And I mean, this thing as a medium is only 10mm shorter than their Foxy 150mm trail bikes. That kind of tells you something about how aggressive the geometry is. And that means that even a medium one of these is longer than most people's large enduro bikes. That really does pay dividends on the descents, because there's just so much more grip. You've got, even with these kind of pretty slick cross-country tyres, it's a lot easier to push hard. It's a lot easier to have faith in the bike that you're going to turn, it's going to carve, and it's really good like that. On the downsides, I'd say if you're an absolute pure cross-country hammerer, and these are only preliminary impressions, it does feel a little bit softer than most. Just especially when it's unlocked, there's a bit more hesitation if you really put the hammer down before you accelerate. Again, locked out, it's definitely not as bad, but the instant thing that springs to mind, if you were going to do some sort of like big distance but still fairly gnarly bike race, like, you know, BC bike race, something like that, this would seem to be a very good choice. Obviously it's got all mod cons. It's one by only, boost back end, it is all carbon fibre, even down to the little swing link there. You can run a dropper post if you like. They do have a tippy top end model which comes with SRAM access and some mad carbon fibre wheels, which is about €1,300. Not many of those are going to be built. This is the third bike down. There is one below this which comes with non-factory series Fox, but yeah, still it's impressively lightweight. Hopefully I'll get my hands on one to ride a little bit more, but first impressions are that it's a very promising little bike, and if you like your cross-country with a bit of an edge, then I think you'd be very interested in this bike. Bye bye!